Hello, my name is Ngcobo. I am the artistic director of the Joburg City Theatres. Well, this is just really a delightful moment for us here at Joburg City Theatres to be able to stage this classic, this really amazing slice of life that Paul Slabowski wrote in 1981, and this piece has been really one of the iconic works in the country. And the thing about Paul also that for me is very exciting. Not only is he one of the greatest playwrights that this country has ever produced, but Paul throughout the years has been a muse for a lot of young writers who have been inspired. Oh, you can go back to Saturday Night, to Go to the Moon, to Small Holding, Pale Natives, and you start getting a sense of how Paul is so in touch with the collision of biographies in this country, how he is able to write ordinary people that you and I have met, people that are people that we know. He gives such gifts to actors and directors. So we this year, as at the Joburg Theatre, just wanted to really take our hats off to Paul Slab, and I spoke to him about this work, and we were so happy when Paul said, "Yeah, James, I would love to see it on stage again." And so it's just started rehearsals, and I think it's just going to be a production that will be enjoyed by some of the people who saw it then, and a whole lot of young people that will be witnessing just what was the genesis of Paul's writing in this play. You know, in Paul's writing, there is something that is beautiful and timeless. And you read any of his works that you will consider as period pieces, because obviously touching at a time a couple of decades ago. But there is always a pertinence about Paul's writing, which means even if it's a piece that is set in the 1980s, we are a country that is still going through its own evolution. You know, we are getting really to know each other, coming from a time that one could describe as a time that created an artificial separation of a people, and so when you read this play, I was sitting at the rehearsal, and I popped in actually at the rehearsal and just witnessed Francois Jacobs, Charlie Bougeno, and Samson Kumalo really immersing themselves in this amazing text, and I at some point I just closed my eyes and I was listening to it, and as I was walking out of the rehearsal room, I was so convinced that there is nothing that you would say is old about the work, because there are still different pockets of the country where a sense of cohesion has not really been achieved. So in staging this work, we are only but contributing to a conversation that will happen for quite some time in this country about race relations, and so the choice of it for me really popped out of that, out of reading it, and out of just being convinced that audiences will not sit in the theater and feel that they're watching a time gone by. Well, these really fascinating and amazing three actors who are in this play have just a great task that any actor can be asked to grapple with. When you look at the original cast of this play, there was Fats DiBeccio, and there was Bill Flynn, and there was Paul Slab. So there was a need when the conversation around this play started, to look for actors who would really step onto these humongous shoes of these actors. These three actors that I'm talking about are actors that left such huge footprints in this country, having done this play and other works that they did. And I mean, I guess I know it being an actor myself, when you have to take over a role that was played by a really, really amazing actor, it makes you go home and just fasten your belt and understand that not only are you dealing with this amazing play, but you also there to play a character that was really, and Paul is the only one of the cast who's still alive. And I've spoken to people who watched the original play, and they just said to me, wow, James, this was just one of the most amazing things that Joburg and the country got to see, and a play that traveled and even played at the Royal Court in London. And so we really were convinced that we wanted a stellar cast for this piece. And then my other absolute joy is that we as a theatre, we are really so fond of the idea of mentorship, of the idea of looking out for the next content creators, whether they do soundscape or they do scenic design, or whether they in lighting, or whether it's young directors or young wordsmiths that are popping up. And we then made a collective decision to choose an amazing young designer who studied at Wits, trained under Sarah Roberts. Her name is Megan Miller, and she has given us not just a set but a poetic space that allows these three characters to meet each other and find each other's voices in the piece, and it is a set that is just so organic to the work. And for me, this just talks of really an amazing eye that she has as a designer. And there's a beautiful symbolism also, where we've taken a classic by Paul Slab, but in the creative team we've then gone with an emerging young designer to design it. And wow, we've got Albert Maritz. I remember the works that one got to see at the Old Fugard Theatre in Cape Town. Not only is he an amazing actor himself, but he is an actor's director. He directs with such a sense of deep love for actors. He understands the tools that an actor needs for an actor to walk on stage and spew words that are like once upon a time, and take an audience on a journey. And so we really just like are so ecstatic about this choice as Joburg City Theatres. So well, theatres are open now, and we thank God. The calamity of COVID is beyond us now, and it's been so exciting for me to walk around the theatre and just see the theatre just teeming with so many people that have been coming to watch the works that we've curated. We started the year with the beautiful production of Fences, and we've just had The Head and the Load, and now we have this segue now that is going into Paul Slabolevsky's Saturday Night at the Palace. And our tickets, they go from 120 rands to 180 rands, and you can book at joburgtheatre.com. And we are inviting you to come to the Lesedi Theatre and really witness the brilliance of this master, of this wordsmith, of this playwright, that we are so proud to say that Paul Slab is a South African playwright who has written plays that pivot around life in this country, yet they carry so much of universal themes. He's a writer that people from all over the world have an immediate access to his work. So what do I want to say is, I hope I see you soon.